En as jy nou sukkel met jou tuin of met jou kruie en met jou gesondheid, dan het ons vir jou vanoggend jou antwoord op jou Mayday. En dis Margaret Roberts. A big welcome, Margaret.
Thank you for having me.
And you a herbal specialist. Oh,
Yes.
how do you say that? Is
Well,
it,
I don't really know. I'm a medical herbalist because
Yes.
I've trained in the medicines.
Okay.
But I'm really a physiotherapist, so that always gives me some credibility.
that is
And I'm
good.
very grateful to have the credibility because when you start working around, as they used to call me, the bossy doctor. You
Die
know?
bossie dokter.
Yes. And when I used to work around with these herbs, they used to say, but what do you do?
Yes.
And then I'd say, well, I treat all kinds of everyday things with the natural herbs.
Was it difficult or more difficult years ago? You know, because, people were like, what do you mean? It's like, I use
Yes.
sangoma.
Yes.
Because
Oh,
they were
yes.
scared. Yeah.
I did. And I have all the Sangomas who still visit me.
Okay. Because
They're
I mean,
very interested.
Yeah. So now, just a little bit of background. Where did you grow up?
Pretoria. I'm a Pretoria Girls High girl.
Okay.
And then I trained in my physiotherapy here in Pretoria hospitals.
But the love for plants and especially herbs, where did that start?
With my parents. I had the most wonderful garden. I grew up in Brooklyn, Pretoria, and I had the most wonderful garden and parents who grew these wonderful plants. So I grew up with things like lavender and rosemary and mint, which I didn't realize at that stage were going to be the most important plants in my life in the future.
And did you think when you were at school that it will become your income and you'll become an expert?
No, never.
Was
I
it
just-
another plan?
It was another plan. I was in hospitals. I was working as a physiotherapist. I thought my life would always be in hospitals.
Sure, and it's like totally the other side.
Totally.
And you also you grow organic insecticides. It's a big word
Yes.
for me in this time of day.
Yes.
Afrikaans. So, I mean, is this because of the damage? Is it because of health issues?
Yes, health issues.
Okay.
Because we are just poisoning ourselves and our world. And my work on those natural organics started with growing the plants like khaki bors, which is probably one of the most safe and wonderful and incredible organics that we can grow. And everything I do is natural. Because we are looking at a sick country, we're looking at our behavior, everything. And of course, sugar is our very worst thing. So in amongst all of this, I made everybody grow plants like stevia, which is that.
Is that that you call a sugar plant?
Yes,
And you can replace sugar with that?
with that, completely.
way.
And I want you to try that in your coffee today.
Yeah, I'll definitely.
Because it's one of the most amazing things. It's 300 times sweeter than sugar.
Wow. What's
So,
it called?
Stevia.
Stevia. Okay.
And you see why it's so wonderful. This is the story of why I love the herb so much, is that you've got the answers in everything that nature gives us. In everything.
So I just take that plant leaf and put it in my coffee?
Yes. And you press it with your spoon to
Yeah.
stir it. And as you do that, you will find that in the pressing of it, this sweetness comes out that you have never experienced
Can you
before.
believe it? So must I like press it and then
Yes.
put it in and then just stir
and
it?
just stir, press with a spoon so that you release it.
And you release it.
And if you were to take a leaf now like that and eat just a tiny little piece of it, your mouth would be sweet literally for the next few hours.
Can you believe it? I think we're going to try it now in the ad break. We're going to talk rooibos. I was so fascinated being new in Pretoria with the jacaranda trees. And it's one guy that brought them in. But
Yes.
you brought stevia into South Africa.
Into South Africa, some like 15 or 16 or 17 years ago.
Sure.
I did the great struggle to get it in from Brazil and Paraguay. That's where they grow it as the sweet herb. And that's the thing that helps us with slimming. It helps us to get our bodies right again, that we're not taking the depletion of sugar.
Is
that
it
does.
very frustrating? Oh, we've got someone from the kitchen.
I'm
Wat
so
doen jy?
sorry,
Wat doen
Margaret.
jy?
Hello, my name is Suanna. I'm a presenter in the big kitchen. And
Oh, in the big kitchen
on,
in the groot ontbyt.
on the big breakfast.
Wat wil jy hê?
And I saw you, and I would like to know if we can please have just one piece of your
Yes,
rosemary.
you can have it all. You
for
just
the
leave us
chicken.
one. Yes.
Oh, thank you so
Net
much.
vir nou.
This is Margaret Rosemary.
Yeah.
You know what it means.
And it's
So
ginger.
Dis my rosemary.
Ginger rosemary.
Ginger.
That.
Thank you so much. Bye, dankie.
Bye-bye julle, baie so aan. Can you believe it? That's what it does to people. Was it frustrating, like you said, 17, 18 years ago, bringing stevia
Yes.
into the
Yes.
country, but still people don't hook onto it. You know
No.
what I mean? Isn't
No.
But only now, because it's the last 10 years, people
Yes.
went organic and they went health.
And you see, my life's work has been to build health, and the sugar breaks it down. It compromises your immune system. And, of course, the sugary drinks and so on. So I have learned to use rooibos as a base with stevia to make the most wonderful cool drinks, iced teas with fruit that you do yourself. And that way you break down the sugar.
Is rooibos your favourite?
Yes.
So you, total rooibos fan.
Yes. Oh,
It's natural,
yes.
that's why.
He's also a big
I'm
rooibos
definitely a
fan.
rooibos
Yes.
fan.
Yes, but look how nice he looks.
Yeah,
You see?
exactly. He looks so healthy.
Yes.
So, now, just about rooibos. I mean, we've got a recipe now, just for tea, on our screen. Our listeners can't see it. But we just used rooibos and sugar, or rooibos and honey.
Yes.
But you can do so much more.
Yes. Rooibos has got to be one of the most fantastic things that ever came from South Africa. And people who don't live in South Africa, they hulle verlang. They cannot
They
ever.
want rooibos.
They want that more than anything. It's in their hearts. Now, you can use rooibos hot, but with ginger and a touch of honey. Never sugar. Use rather stevia if you want it sweet, but you can flavour it. That is what is so incredible about rooibos. And my basic work in the Herbal Centre is my daughter, who is very, very keen on tastes. She uses rooibos as a base for all our herb teas. So when you put rooibos in, which is your biggest cleanser, and of course it works for the diarrhea, and it works for stress, and it works for beauty because you can use it as a lotion as well, and everything to do with rooibos talks health. And so therefore it's the most incredible tea to use. But add to it some of these incredible herbs. For example, if you are, just think about your work every day here and how you have to maintain your brain power and everything going. That Centella asiatica is one of the most amazing. You just put in 3 leaves into your cup of rooibos tea. Press it down, stir it well, and then all you do is sip that slowly, and the brain works.
It's Centella.
Centella asiatica.
Oh, I'm going to grow this stuff.
Centella asiatic.
Asiatic. It's not just for the Chinese.
No,
Asiatic.
it's
for everyone.
I have to tell you, it grows in India.
Yeah.
And the Asiatica part of it is indicating that it originated
there.
possibly there, but it's indigenous to South Africa.
Okay.
And it's usually known as pennywort, but for arthritis. There you take your rooibos tea with the arthritis treatment, which is 2 or 3 leaves of this centella or pennywort.
And where exactly are you based? Even people from Cape Town coming up for business, I think people must go visit you.
Oh, yes, they do.
Yeah, but where are you based?
I'm near Hartbeespoort Dam at a little place called De Wilt.
De
You know,
Wilt.
there's a cheetah farm, and I'm next door to the cheetah farm.
That's just amazing because I really want to go there and just because I've learned so much in a couple of minutes. I'm definitely going to use that in my tea.
Yes.
So for you, the biggest frustration when you still see people using unhealthy things.
My biggest frustration is that they don't know what they're putting into their bodies, and I can't bear it, especially the carbonated drinks. I say, make a rooibos tea base. You know, if you think that rooibos has been around since before 1940, which is where that amazing doctor that came in, Dr. Napier, and Benjamin Ginsberg, started to put it together. And do you know that the Khoi who are doing this wonderful thing, working on the rooibos, which only grows in one place in South Africa, and that's the Western Cape, near Clan William.
Yes.
They made all these wonderful fermented teas. They fermented it then. It is so amazing. Today, we can literally, inexpensively buy that wonderful tea. Now, to add to that tea, because it's going to help us with slimming, it's going to help us to maintain the body health, we can add things like this ginger rosemary that they are now using in the kitchen.
Yes.
And it has a cross-pollination in the Herbal Centre gardens, so it's got a ginger taste.
That's
So
amazing.
you could put a little sprig of that, just the length, I used to say, the length of your forefinger, that you would put into your cup of rooibos tea or just boiling water. Then you leave it for 5 minutes, stir it well, and then you sip it. And you're taking medicine and energy and vitality.
Margaret Roberts, not only a herbalist, but making history in South Africa, you know, changing the way we
Yes.
think the way we live, and you make us live longer. So
Oh, yes.
thank you for your contribution. Thank you for visiting us at this time of the morning. And I will definitely come visit. I'll bring Henry
Yeah,
with.
definitely.
Thank you, and I look forward to seeing how you're drinking your tea. I'm leaving this behind for
I'm
tea
so
for
going to
everybody.
use it. We'll send you
Thank
some
you so
pictures.
Thank you.
En dit was Margaret Roberts geweest. Maak seker jy gaan kuier by haar. Wat 'n ongelooflike ondervinding. En kom ons kyk wat doen hulle die kombuis en hoe hulle daai rosemary gaan gebruik.